Hello guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to be reviewing my new Wheelock AS fire alarm horn strobe. So starting off, right here you have your horn grill. This is where the sound input comes out of. And right here you have your strobe light. Now with the strobe light, you have a flash tube which produces the flash, and you also have a reflector behind it which makes the strobe brighter. And this strobe is also 1575 candela. And what that means is, if you look directly in the front of the strobe, you will see 75 candela, and if you look off to the sides, you will see 15 candela. So I always found that really interesting. So, a couple things about this fire alarm. It is a 2-wire device, which means that once you hook this up, you will immediately get power to both the horn and the strobe. There is no extra wires required to power both the horn and the strobe. They will both instantly be powered when you plug it in. For some people that's more convenient, while other people prefer 4-wire. I personally like 2-wire because it's less of a pain, but 4-wire is decent too. But yeah. So you have your fire ring on the sides here. It's pretty big and it stands out. You have a nice horizontal strobe. And right here is a screw. This holds the mounting bracket onto the alarm. Again, on the back here, you have your wire terminals. This is where you put your wires in. And if you look closely, I'll bring the flashlight up, you have a red wire and a black wire. Your red wire is your positive side, and your black wire is your negative side. If you look right here, you can kind of see a plus and a minus sign. So the plus means positive and the minus means negative. So anytime you're wiring up your alarms, you always want to look out for that. Plus is positive, black is negative. So if we take this off of its mounting bracket, you will see a little bit more. So you just need a flathead screwdriver and you just unscrew this. And then you can pull your screw out. Here's the screw. It's a long screw, but it holds the bracket onto the alarm. See, it's right here to match with the alarm itself. We just put that aside. Then we can take the alarm off of the bracket. So you basically mount this on the wall first. Then you do all your wiring on the back of the alarm. Once you do that, there's these little hooks at the bottom. You want to make sure they fit onto the fire alarm like this. And then you can basically attach it and then screw it in and you're done. So that's pretty easy. So let's take a look at the back of the alarm itself. Move this out of the way for now. So again, I already showed you the wire terminals. Right here, these are your jumpers. So right now it is set to low volume code 3. If I wanted to put this to high volume, I just take this top jumper out and I put it all the way up at the top. So now the fire alarm is set to high volume. If I wanted to put it to medium volume, I just take it out. It's a little hard to do. And I put it right here. Now it is on medium volume. And of course I like it on low, so I'm going to take it, put it back at the bottom. Now the jumper at the very bottom, if you have it in, it's going to be code 3. If you have it out, it's going to be continuous. So in other words, if I wanted this on continuous, I just pull that jumper out and now it is set to continuous tone. Okay, so that is basically how you change your tones and the volume on this. Pretty cool how it has a setting for the medium. Alright, so right here is your sticker, your model sticker. This is the Wheelock AS 241575W. It's an audible signal appliance for fire alarm service with signaling appliance for the hearing impaired. So, of course, that's what the strobe does. If people are deaf, they're going to see this flash and they'll know there's a fire because they can't hear the horn. So, that's the strobe's main purpose. Alright? So, what I'm going to do now is we're going to hook this up and we're going to test it out. Perfect. So now we have to focus on wiring this up. So, I have some wiring right here that we're going to use. And when you're wiring up the alarm again, you want to make sure the positive goes to the positive and the negative goes to the negative. So how you can notice that, if you look at your wire, if you can see the one that has the white line on it, it might be kind of hard to see, but if you look, I hope you can see. See the one that has the white on it? That right there is your positive. And obviously the other wire would have to be your negative wire. So what you do, you just, first off, you want to unscrew this a little bit so you can get the wire in. Once you've done that, you just take it and you stick it through. And then you screw it in. You don't want to make it too tight. You don't want to damage the screw bit, but if it happens, it happens. But sometimes if you also over tighten it, you could strip it out, and that is one thing you absolutely do not want. So tighten it enough to where it's snug, but not enough where you could cause damage, because I am not responsible if you damage your alarm. That is entirely from your own actions, not mine. Alright, so once you've put the wires in, all you have to do is find a power supply. So, my power supply is right here. This is my power supply. This is 24.35 volts DC, so this works perfect for this. And this alarm is a 24 volt DC alarm, so this will work out great. So, you can see that it has the red and black. Again, your red is the positive, and the black is the negative. So how I'm going to hook this up is from the edges here. Again, I look for the one that has the white on it, and the red wire will go on there. And if you can kind of attach the copper to it, and then it will connect when you plug it in. Remember, your fire alarm will not operate without power. You must have power. It can be a 9-volt battery or a DC power supply, but always check to see which kind of power your alarm takes, because if you use the wrong type of power, you can severely damage your alarm. Okay, so now we're going to test this. Close the window because this is going to be very loud and I would not want surrounding people to hear this. But anyways, we're going to test it and see what it sounds like. So here we go. Alright, so that is what the Wheelock AS sounds like. So, again, if we want to set it to continuous, you do have to remove the bracket to change your tone. I personally prefer the code 3 tone because it's less obnoxious. Because with a continuous sound, you can't shut the thing off until you unplug it. So again, if you want continuous, you just take out the jumper at the very bottom. And now it is on continuous. So we can put the bracket back on. Oops. Alright. Again, I'm not responsible if you damage your devices. So always take responsibility if you want your alarms to be in the best of shape. Right, so now it's in continuous, so we're going to try it on continuous and see how much of a difference that makes. Here we go. Okay, so on a scale 1 to 10, what am I going to rate this alarm? I don't know. Let's take a look at it first. So, as far as notification goes, it is definitely loud enough to notify you to exit the building. Only complaint I have is it's a little bit too unnecessarily loud. You don't need a fire alarm this loud to get someone's attention. In my opinion, I would say this is probably just as loud as a Spectral Advance. So yeah, that's the only con. It's a little too loud. So because of that, it doesn't get 100. But it's definitely, you know, a good alarm for grabbing people's attention, but it's a little bit too loud and too ear-piercing. It does have a unique sound, but yeah, it's too noisy. And it has a nice bright strobe, which perfectly notifies people to exit the building. You can see it from a far distance, which is pretty well. So yeah, I'll give the strobe a 100, but the horn, I don't know. I'll give that like a 97 or whatever, because it doesn't get 100 because it's too loud. But other than that, it's, you know, pretty good, just a little too loud. Other than that, another thing I wish they would have done on this, they could have put fire alerting on the front or something, because some people might look at it from the front and not know it's a fire alarm until they look at the sides and they see the fire alerting. So I think one thing they could have done is put fire alerting on the front of it, so people could see if it's a fire alarm. Because when you have fire alerting from all angles, I think it's much, much more convenient. So, yeah. So, overall, notification-wise, I give the strobe 100. I give the horn 97. So, yeah. I don't know if that's how you rate or not, but who cares? That's how I'm rating. As far as design goes, I give it a 99. The only thing I wish they did is put fire alerting on the front, so it provides less confusion. Ceiling mount fire alarms, you can have fire alerting from all views, so why can't you have that with a wall mount alarm? So that's something they should have done with this. But other than that, I think they did a phenomenal job with the design. It's really convenient. All you have to do, put the bracket on the wall, and then you take the alarm, you attach it to the bracket, screw it in, and then it's snug. So that's convenient. You know, there's no, this, red shell. It's not a shell like an NS. So I like that a lot. So yeah, overall it's a great alarm, and I definitely recommend it for a first alarm, even though it's loud. So if you don't like loud noises, maybe this isn't your best alarm. But overall, it's a pretty neat device, and it's good for collectors. I got this from my good old friend Jimmy06, and of course I'm going to give him a shout out because that's how I got this alarm from him. So yeah, good device overall. A little bit of specs, but overall I like it. It's really, really nice, and yeah, it's a decent notification device besides it being a little too loud and not having fire alerting on the front so people can see the fire alerting even from a front view of it. But yeah, overall I really like this fire alarm, and yeah, this is my review on the Wheelock AS. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will talk to you Felicity Red friends later. This is Dale Sister the Man signing off.